Rogue Legacy is the newest member of the ever-growing Metroidvania games, with one obvious twist. That's right, it's a rogue game. Oh man, can I go one review without referencing Angband? Now, while Metroidvania might make you think of Mya, the real closest comparison would be Mya. The fact that The Binding of Isaac was a Game of the Year nominee should give you some inkling as to where I'm leaning with this bitch. It's almost like you could say this is Zelda 2 Rogue style, following last year's Zelda 1 Rogue style. Alright, I got the obvious comparisons out of my system, let's talk game. Being a rogue game, the shtick here is random everything. Level layouts, the enemies you fight, even the line of characters you play, thus the title Legacy. Each time you die, you start a new castle with a family descendant that re-randomizes your choice of offspring to play with. Anything from gigantism to peripheral artery disease will affect your strengths and weaknesses. A huge character has a bigger sword, but also makes a bigger target. Aw, skills! Aw, skills, bitch, skills! Can't touch your skills! Can't touch your skills! A dwarf lacks reach, but can walk through secret passages and more easily avoid bullet hell. Oh, glorious bullet hell. Anyone under the age of 20 will not know how to handle you. Sometimes these traits are seemingly cosmetic, such as color blindness or nearsightedness. This constant variety not only changes up the levels you play, but the strategy with which you play them. Even after 10 hours, things can still feel fresh, which is saying a lot for a lower-priced indie game. I say lower-priced in comparing it to console games. Compared to most other indie titles, $15 actually isn't all that cheap. Especially since The Binding of Isaac, that I'll admit it is a better game, only cost like $5 at launch. But whatever, I still remember when all games were $50 or $60 with no internet to tell you what didn't suck. Fuck you, 80s. I don't miss you at all. I don't care what Adam Sandler says. So, as far as I'm concerned, paying under $20 for something that I'll get at least as many hours out of is a steal. That's just my crotchety old man opinion. I don't think like you kids today, what with your glasses and Facebook. This used to be Facebook. Chicken! Through the castle, you'll find challenge chest rooms that require a stated objective in order to get them. These are both awesome and frustrating, as many of the chests that you come across will require different character builds just to reach. I can't get it. I can't get it. Why I can't get it. Chest teases suck. In games, I mean. Part of the longevity this game pulls off is achieved by the fact that unlike most rogue games, you still get progression between deaths. The stand-in for experience points here is gold, which you'll cash in to upgrade overall stats for all your descendants. There's more than enough room to grow. So much so, in fact, that you could probably dump in 60 hours and still have more than enough upgrades left. I'm sure looking at this, you can tell that it probably could have been made on Super Nintendo, and not much would have been different. That's not an insult to its graphics so much as a compliment to its gameplay. Had this come out 20 years ago, it no doubt would be a classic, and just goes to prove that graphics aren't everything. Right? Right? In addition to graphics, the difficulty is noticeably old school as well, meaning not... Yeah, epic soundtrack doesn't hurt either. I've sounded mostly positive thus far, but we all know nobody's perfect, so I'll give you what minor gripes are worth noting. Some of the negative character traits affect your vision, leaving you with what should only be a cosmetic disadvantage, but more importantly teaches you that playing games in black and white isn't much fun. This isn't a movie, and the color actually helps a lot. Sure, you're learning the actual disadvantage of being colorblind or so nearsighted that everything else is blurry, but again, why would you want to do that on purpose? That's what we get fucking glasses for. Do you think any of this would have made these other games more challenging in a good way? Challenge by default is not always a good thing. Sometimes it's just annoying. This is one of those times. The one other thing that is for the most part avoidable is that later in the game you can add a dragon mode to your family traits. While it sounds cool, it isn't. Dragon is slow and all projectile and in general practically a different game, just not in a good way, and nothing's really been built around it, so it kind of feels shoehorned in, and I don't know, everything that makes this game fun and visceral just falls flat in dragon mode. My advice is just avoid it. The best thing about Rogue Legacy, as is always the case with indie titles, there's overall less content to talk about, leaving me with a less lengthy review. 'Cause you know, fuck that. So here we go. Ashley Simpson Award. Cause you don't have to be great or particularly complicated to be entertaining. And while she's not the main event, she'll tide you over until it's time for the big show. Chicken.